Welcome back to our studio build. Today we are finally taking what feels like some concrete steps to fully building out our studio, and that is painting. We're going to start with the walls. As you can see, they just need a fresh coat of paint, match our brand colors. But before we do that, we need to do a little bit of paint prep, especially on the walls, do some scraping, and then we're gonna need to talk about something. Now, we're just gonna kind of go at this spot. I think this is the main spot that needs some work. There's some previous water damage, just kind of all flaking up. It's gonna be kind of gross. It's gonna be messy, but we gotta do it if we're gonna paint. This wall is gonna end up being covered up anyways, but I just kind of wanna, we're here, it's gonna be covered up, and I just wanna do it right because it might not ever get touched again. And we're here, let's just do it. Ugh, jeez. I'm hoping the whole wall isn't like this, but we're just gonna scrape off as much until it doesn't let us anymore. Especially I'd love to get, oh jeez, all this chunks. I wanna get these chunky stuff. I don't know what they did here. Stuff's just falling all over the place. It's gonna be easier to paint to do this too, so that's kind of why I want to do it. Get a real nice pull right here. Ready? Ooh, that's pretty good. There's more. I felt like that could have been better. There's some good chunks. So I'm definitely glad we're doing this because if you can see, I mean, look at what we've taken off already, but I think this was sprayed in to try and help kind of fill some cracks where there was water damage. Which it's just this section, it's right by a window, so it makes sense, but I'm glad we can see it so we can address it. I think we made pretty good work of that. As you can see, the giant mess we have made, but I think that's good. I kind of just went and took where it would give me. So I could probably chip away at this whole wall if I really wanted to. So I kind of just took away what it can give me, and I think that's pretty good. And as I feared, there's more signs of it here in our screen printing room. So again, we're just gonna chip away, get all of it off. I'm kind of wishing now I bought a bit more of a durable paint, let's just say. I might have tried to save some money and get a cheaper paint, but that might have been a bad idea. So I might need to go back to the store and get a stronger, more durable paint. I'm kind of hoping they just used cheap paint in here, and that's why it's shipping off. But then again, like I said, I bought cheap paint. So, yeah. It seems less like water damage in here and more just like crappy paint. But nonetheless, we gotta scrape anyways. This is definitely turning into a longer project than I had hoped. Yeah, paint should not be doing that. It's coming off in pretty good chunks. So yeah, I'm starting to wonder a couple things. I do think at least this area is less water damage and more just bad quality paint, because you can see this beautiful mint green paint underneath, and it's just this white paint that's peeling off in chunks. But that leads us to decision, is figuring out if we bought the right paint and if it's worth painting, or do we scrap that gallon of paint, go back and get a higher quality paint that's gonna bond better with the concrete, which is what I think they didn't do. And as much as I don't want to waste a gallon of paint, I think that's what we have to do. The bright side is that gallon isn't going to be completely wasted. We have regular drywall walls we can use it on, but I think that's going to be the best course of action. It's just annoying that I thought this was going to be a quick 15-minute thing, and now it's turned into a couple-day project, and it puts me further behind where I want it to be. I don't really know what was here, some sort of wood or cardboard or something, but it needs to come up, and I'm hoping that it comes up easy, but I'm not confident. Okay, so as you can see, we've made a huge mess, but I think we've scraped everything we need to scrape, so now we just need to clean all the walls, get rid of all the cobwebs, take everything down from the headboard, and then we can finally start painting. So obviously we don't need this Ethernet port anymore, but I don't know how it's connected and it will not come off. Aha, there are more screws. It broke my drill bit. If we can get the rest of this off, we can just unscrew it with a wrench, but it is being stubborn. Oh, thank the Lord, that was way more stubborn than it should have been. All right, we just got back from the store and we made a couple decisions. First off, we're gonna prime the walls with a high quality, durable, this stuff is apparently amazing. It's gonna seal stuff, cover things up. So this is exactly what we want. It adds another step, but it's something we just are gonna do right. And then we also got caulk gun, wire brush for continued paint removal, and then masonry crack filler. Move that out. Okay, we've mopped everything, and I think everything's finally clean to start painting, unless I decide to do another pass of mopping because the floor is really dirty and I want to make sure it's pristine because we are going to paint it. Initially, I didn't want to paint because I just didn't want to bother painting concrete floors, but the space is permanent, it's not moving, and I do not like this red floor, so I'm just going to take the extra steps, the extra time, and make sure the studio is how I want it to be. I didn't want to build the studio out and then hate how it looked with this red floor. So we're going to paint it just like a concrete gray, one of our darker brain colors. And I'm super excited because I think it's going to transform the space. We're not going to paint the whole basement floors, but just the studio part. So it's really going to make it feel like its own unique space that you're just going to kind of step into. So I'm really excited about that. but it's going to be a bit of work. All right, take your bets. How straight of a line do you think I can make this on the floor? Not a bad start, honestly. Okay, and we're gonna do the hack where you paint the tape as the original color and then paint it your new color. That way it's an ultra crisp line. So that is what we're gonna do because we want these lines to be crisp. It is time to prime. We are officially primed. It may look a little splotchy. We used every ounce of paint we could in that can. And it's just a primer, so it doesn't need to be super even. We're going to let this dry, come back to it, and start painting real colors. Because like I said, the concrete floor is not going to be gray. But you can kind of start to see the space. It's starting to come together and form. You can see the actual space. And it's going to be awesome. You can start to picture it. Super excited.